Sometimes simple things are hard to do. I was down there feeding the wires and I noticed a bulb dropped out. Not quite sure where it's from, but I found the wire where it came out of the socket. It was held in by this little device, which actually, if you look at it, this is the part that goes into the socket, and these two little arrowhead type ends go in little slots in the socket, and then when the bulb goes in, it goes under these other two. You get it? Under these two little sockets. I don't know how well you can see that. The problem I'm having, and of course these clips pop it into wherever it goes. The problem I'm having is these two arrowhead clips don't want to go into the tiny little holes they belong in. So I couldn't push them in with my fingers, so I'm going to get a blunt tool so that I don't stab myself, because it's likely to slip. Unfortunately, I've got to be working down here, so trying to get this lined up in those two little holes. Put the bulb down for now and line the two arrowheads up with those two little slots. Okay, they're partially in now. Take my blunt tool, see if I can get it all the way in. Looks like that worked. Now the bulb can be inserted with the pins going in there, twisted, and it's in. I couldn't push that in with my fingernails, so I figured I'd show that. I'm going to zoom in on the bulb now. That wasn't a very good close-up, but I'm not taking it out just to show a close-up of the slots. But there is the bulb. I don't know how that slipped out, but it did. So I've got the wire connected for the accessory power socket that looks exactly like a cigarette lighter. So I believe my next step is going to be to take the let's go focus camera. Next step, I think, is going to be to do the gear shift lever for the 4-speed transmission. So I started to figure out what I needed to do to do the shifter conversion for the new transmission. And basically what needs to happen is this needs to be changed, but they tell you to take the shifter out of the car, so because you've got to drill some rivets out here. So I started to do that. I noticed this light bulb here had a funny looking color to the bulb. So I was like, oh, that's one of those 168 type bulbs that are typically used in like side marker lights. So I was trying to pull it out, and I was pulling and pulling and pulling, and it wouldn't come out because even though it looks like those bulbs, it's not. It's a typical push and turn. It's a GE J, or maybe 1816. So I know I don't have any of these sitting up in the garage, so I will have to get one of those. So let me grab a couple tools I think I need, and then we'll start with taking apart the shifter.